Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to yet another video on this beautiful channel. Today we are doing the February reading wrap-up. Very exciting. Yeah, I guess we should just get right into it, I guess. I do remember which book was second. I don't even need to look at my notes. The second through third, first three books that I read in February were a continuation of the Kingsmaker series, which I read the first one back in January, but I finished it up in February. So that's The Rebel, The Bully, and The Spy, all by Sophie Lark, or Sophia? I think it's Sophia Lark. Sophie Lark, I was right. So I greatly enjoyed this series. I'm not going to say too much because I feel like she has like some fun twists and turns that I wasn't necessarily thinking about when I was reading the book, so I don't want to spoil anything for anyone else. But I loved it. The Bully was my favorite in the series, if you were wondering. Highly recommend, but you need to read like all of them to really enjoy The Bully, I think. But honestly, really loved the series. I thought it was a great way to start my February, and yeah, just A pluses all around. Very big fan. Okay, after I finished the Kingsmaker series, I read Until Friday Night by Abbi Abbi Glines, which I saw this on a TikTok recommended video. I don't remember which one, I'm sorry. And I saw it like a lot though. Like I kept getting like Until Friday Night stuff and I was like, okay, dope, like let's read it. Did not enjoy it. Did really not. I kind of don't even remember the plot, which is kind of really telling for me. Like I remember most plots. I kind of remember it. No, I'm lying. I do remember it. It was like she just moved in with her aunt and uncle and cousin. The main girl, don't ask me what her name is because I have no memory of that. And her parents were killed, or I think her mom was killed by her father. So she like has not spoken since then. And she's in high school and she moves in with her cousin and aunt and uncle, like I said. And then her cousin is friends or is on the baseball team, football team, I don't remember. And basically she starts talking to this dude and she like actually starts talking to him and he's like the only one she like talks to and all this stuff. Great. Lovely. It's the first in like a series. I think it's called the Field Party series or something like that. Not for me. I DNF'd the series. I finished the first book, but the rest of the series I was like, that's a no-go. It was very high school romance, which is not a bad thing. I love a good like younger adult romance and like a high school romance. I think it was just like too much was going on and I was just like, I don't enjoy this. So was not my personal favorite, but you know, can't win them all. Okay, next was Just Kids by Patti Smith, which I did read the physical copy, but I gave it to my friend for her birthday. Shout out to Mia. So I no longer have it. She now has it, but I did read it. I really liked it. I think it's like a memoir of Patti Smith, who is a famous singer and poet and just like artist all around kind of. And it's telling her life through the 60s and 70s in New York City, like kind of trying to make it and like just kind of going to New York to be an artist. And a lot of her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe, who was a very famous photographer. And yeah, it was just very beautiful. I think there were just a lot of moments that just like really encapsulated, I feel like, the desire to be an artist and kind of not know what you're doing. At least I felt that way. And just like loving art so much that you're willing to do anything for it. I don't know. I thought it did a good job of that. And it also had just like a really cute storyline all about their relationship and the love that they had that was once romantic turned to friendship to turn to just like, I don't know, just like love is just so, I don't know, so pure and romantic and platonic relationships. And I think it was really cool showing that. So after that, you know, after this beautiful memoir, I did follow it up with Only One Mistake by Natasha Madison, which, if you're not aware, is of course a pregnancy trope book, because for some reason, like, I guess this was pretty early on in February, as we can see, but I was like, I need pregnancy book recommendations. Like, I need that. Like, I really, really, really want to read a pregnancy book. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. Maybe I don't know. I guess I just got like a bunch of baby fever all of a sudden. But I was like desperate for some, and I like looked some up online and I found some, and this was the first one I read. I didn't like this one as much. If I remember correctly, it was like a one night stand, and then they meet months later, and then there was like a miscommunication of why he never called her, and yeah, and then they like ended up happily. I don't know, it was just very like, there was no like substance to me. It was very just like, whoopsie, we got pregnant, now shenanigans ensue, which I think's fun. It was a fun read. I think I read it in like a day, like nothing against it. If you're looking for a very, very quick pregnancy trope read, read Only One Mistake, perhaps, would not be the worst thing in the world. I did follow that up with another pregnancy trope book, which this one was Secret Plunge by Jasmin Miller, which this one was about I liked this one a bit better. It still wasn't the best. I think I was thinking, I do like a pregnancy trope when placed correctly, and I think I was thinking of like, I don't know, like, I was thinking of like The Goal by L. Kennedy or something, and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's what, is it The Goal or The Score? I always get those two mixed up. Anyways, whichever one is Tucker's book. I'm like, yeah, I really like pregnancy trope, and then I'm like, well, I don't, it's harder when you like don't already know the characters, and it's like I feel like it needs to be like a slow burn, you know what I mean? Also, I should say, going back to Only One Mistake, they didn't have the baby by the time the book ended, which I was like, what? Like, I want to see the baby. I want to like hear the baby's name and like see how you are as parents. Like, I was like, excuse me. But anyway, on to Secret Plunge. Secret Plunge, he was a swimmer, and they had, again, it was like a one night stand type deal. But they lived on like opposite coasts. Like, she lived in New York and he lives in California. And it turns out that his coach, swimming coach, he's like for the Olympics. I mean, he's old. He's not old, but he's like older, is her father, and she gets pregnant, and her mom is like not over is like somewhere with her boyfriend or something, so she moves to like visit, or she goes to visit her dad and finds out that like he's this dude's coach, and they like start meeting up, and she tells him, and they start like having a relationship. I mean, I like this one more. Again, I didn't love it. I just like wanted more. I wanted more like substance. I wanted more, like, these books were both like very short too. Like, I wish they were a lot longer. I was looking for like a Mariana Zapata romance pregnancy trope, which was not these, but that's on me for expecting that. So still likes these books, still all love to them and to their authors. Okay, then I went on and read the Kings of Rittenhouse series, which is 5 books in total with 1 novella. I'm not really going to talk about them too much because I did a whole other video on them, which you can go check out right after this video. I'll link it in the description. But basically, let me see if I can remember the order, because maybe I can. I think I can. Okay, so the novella starts off the series, and it's Kings of Rittenhouse, and then it's Shameless King, and then it's Reckless King, Ruthless King, Fearless King, Heartless King. Not me getting that on my first try. So those are all by Maya Hughes. Again, go watch the other video. I'm not going to talk about them like at all, but all love. So now we're on to my first play. So if you're new here, I am a theater student in her final semester senior year, but I read a lot of plays as a result of that. So I have a lot of plays on here. Not a lot. That's saying I don't read all the plays I'm assigned. Don't tell my teachers that. Or I skim them. But I don't count them if I skim them. I only count them if I read the whole thing. Anyways, I'm going off. So the first play on our list this time is The Great Leap by Lauren Yee, which I read this for my playwriting class. Very fun. Greatly enjoyed this play. It's, sorry, let me recall things. I don't know why, but I can't remember like anyone's names in these books this month. I don't know why that's happening. Anyways, the main character, um, he's Chinese American, and he plays basketball and wants to play on, I think it's the University of Southern California's team, but don't quote me on that. And they're having a game with uh, China's basketball team. And they're like playing, it's like a friendly game, whatever. And it's kind of, I don't want to give anything away, but that's the story. It's very cool. It has like the rhythm of basketball. I know that sounds crazy, but when you read it, you'll like get it. And I always love a basketball book story because my family is so into basketball that it's been in my life for so long. So it's nice when I can read things like this where I'm like, oh no, like I can tell that's basketball-esque or whatever. Sorry, also I'm making so much noise. I have my slippers on again. Cute. And I'm like leaning against my radiator. Can you hear that? That makes a lot of noise. So apologies in advance for that. Okay. After all those, we have another play. This play I read for my acting class, my acting 4 class. I'm actually doing it for my final scene, so wish me luck. But it is Fast Girls by Diana Amsterdam. It is a comedy. I think it's set in the 80s in New York City. It follows, I will be playing Abigail in my scene, and my scene partner is Lucy. But it kind of follows them in New York. I've heard like it's said like it's like the precursor of Sex and the City. I get those vibes, but like I don't really fully see that. I don't know. It's just like they're both like kind of focused on like relationships and like their friendship, but also kind of their relationship to men and like love relationships. It's just a fun kind of read. It has to do with like female sexuality too, of like especially in the 80s, of like kind of this new time of not like women can be on their own and kind of can sleep around more, but it's also like, but there's still this underlying pressure of getting married and having kids, which still exists today, but you know. And yeah, so I enjoyed it. I obviously liked it because I'm going to be acting in it, so very fun. We have yet again another play. I don't really think I keep these in order, and I think that's becoming a problem because I definitely don't think I read these 3 plays like right in a row, but we're gonna ignore that. This is Time Is on Our Side by R. Eric Thomas. I read this for my audition seminar class, which is, yes, different than my acting 4 class. But anyways, I basically auditioned for this play. I auditioned for the part of Annie, if anyone's familiar with the work. I did not really like this play that much. It's kind of dealing with these 2 friends, Annie and Curtis, are making a podcast, and they kind of find out that Annie's grandmother might have been queer, and yeah, and it's kind of this journey of like Annie discovering this along with Curtis and like kind of, I don't know, just like changing the way she sees her family and things like that. Yeah, I wasn't a very big fan of it just because of like the writing. I don't know. We won't talk about it too much, but you know, things happen. Okay, then I read Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which is the first in the Never After series. Now, I read this one really randomly. I think I also got like a TikTok recommended video about this. I don't really know. I don't know why I picked it up because I remember reading like the description of it and being like a while ago and being like, okay, it's like, it's a retelling of Peter Pan and like Hook, like Captain Hook and Wendy, yes. Which I loved that movie as a child. I like loved Tinkerbell. I loved Peter Pan. I had such a crush on him. So loved that. So I think I was like very into that. I don't know, but I don't really usually like retellings. I'm gonna look like such a liar because I have 2 other retellings in my February. Whatever. But I read it and I really liked it. I was shocked by how much I like it. So it's like the retelling, but it's like but it's like moved around. It's like not the same. Obviously, it's just kind of the same characters. So it's like Wendy, father is Peter, and he is like a airplane mogul or something. I don't like. He has like a bunch of. He owns an airline company, I guess you would say. It's like I think it was like Never Airland or something. So it's like Neverland. Anyways, and then she starts kind of. Oh, and then Hook, his name's James in it, but like his nickname's Hook because he always used like a hooked knife or whatever. But he is a bad guy and like all this stuff, and he wants to get revenge on Peter for something he did to him. So he's like, oh, I'll go after his daughter Wendy and make her like fall in love with me, and then he'll be putty in my hands. So he starts seeing Wendy, and it's the love story between Wendy and Hook, which I think is cool. And also they had like more characters who I will not talk about because you'll see for yourself if you're a Peter Pan fan. I feel like there's like something caught in my hair, so don't mind me. Yes, but it's very fun, and it's definitely like a darker romance because like he's still a villain, which I think is a cool idea. So yeah, very fun. And then the second in the Never After series by Emily McIntyre, where is it? Is Scarred, which I liked this one not as much. It's very much more loosely based than Hooked was on like a Disney story. This one's kind of Lion King. They are all human, but kind of Lion King. And then she infused more of Hamlet because like if you don't know, Lion King is kind of inspired by Hamlet by William Shakespeare, but like she infused more of it into it. You really don't have to have read either to understand Scarred, though, I guess I should say. But Scarred basically, okay, so it's, so, oh my god, I feel like I'm like losing my mind. I can't remember any characters' names, and this is so not like me, but I refuse to like look it up for like a stupid reason because I'm like, no, you should remember. Anyways, sorry, it's just making it harder on you and me. Anyways, so the story is of, I'm gonna look up her name. I'm gonna cave. I'm gonna look her up. Okay, I'll be back. How can I forget this? Literally, her name is Sarah B. Like all of the chapters when it's like, because it's dual perspective, it's Sarah B. But then no one refers to her as Sarah B. There's no other Sarah in the story, so that very confused me of why they made that decision. Maybe, I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. But anyway, Sarah is kind of like, I don't know, she's like a lady. I think her dad was a duke. I don't know if that makes her. Anyways, she is going to possibly wed the king, the new king, because she wants to get revenge for her dad's death, which she believes happened at the hands of the new king. So she wants to go and marry him and then kill him and then cause all this chaos, basically. So she goes on this journey, and so the king is Michael, I want to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Michael. And then his younger brother is Scar, but his real name is Tristan. And yeah, so basically it's this, she gets to the palace and Michael likes her and starts like seeing her, whatever, decides that they're going to get married, and but someone else does something to hurt the community and threaten the king, and it wasn't her, and she's like, who else is this? And there's like the rightful king or something that's trying to rise up and claim the throne. So it's very interesting. It's like two people trying to vie for the throne, but they don't know who either one of them are and how they're doing things. And yeah, and it's kind of enemies to lovers. I mean, again, he's like a villain, so fun times, fun vibes. I liked it less than I liked Hooked, if I'm being honest. And it had like, again, like I said, like it's more Hamlet vibes, I would say, kind of, than Lion King vibes, but I don't know. It was still fine. Oh my gosh, the next book I actually have, hold on, pause. Oh my gosh, that literally took me forever. Also, I'm stupid. I also have Fast Girls. So this is Fast Girls by Diana Amsterdam. I do own it because, like I said, I am doing a scene from it, so whatever. Oh my god. Oh, that's so sad. It got stained from the rain in my backpack. Okay, well, whatever. The next book, though, is Acting in Film by Michael Caine. Yes, the famous actor Michael Caine. You may know him from Cars 2, his pivotal role. I had to read this for class. I read this for acting 4. Basically, this is just talking about acting in film for people who want to act in films. I don't know why, but I feel both like more prepared for this video, but I feel like my explanations about the books and my thoughts on them are more scattered than ever before. So I don't really know how this video is going to turn out. I feel like it's kind of going to be a bit wild, and you're welcome for that. That's what you come here for. Not preparedness or super great summaries. You come for vibes and for a good time and a conversation with a friend, you know? That's what I come here for. This one-sided conversation. It's fabulous. Anyways, next I jumped back in to my pregnancy. Well, this one's not pregnancy. It's like single parent trope, which I also really like single parent trope, especially when it's done well. Mariana Zapata. I mean, other people do it well too, but she's obviously the first I always think of. But anyways, so I found this one. It's Make Me Yours by Melanie Harlow. Basically, the book is single dad, and his name's Cole, and he lives next door to, well, he lives with his mom because his wife passed away, and he's lived with her ever since to kind of help with his daughter, and he lives next door to his old best friend's place, which his best friend's little sister still lives there, who is Cheyenne. And yeah, so they both, Cheyenne and Cole, both live with their mothers still at home next door to each other. And they start having a flirtation, and Cole is nervous because he's never really seriously dated with his daughter, so he's nervous. And yeah, I didn't love this book. I thought it was just kind of like, I feel like that's how I feel about a lot of the books I read in February. They're just like, I don't know. It was fine. I don't know. It was one of those tropes too where I feel like his daughter was like, I want to say she was like 9 or something, but it was like, you would think she's like 15 because she talks like a 15-year-old, and it's like, that's not how children talk. Like, this 9-year-old's not like, no, like, if you love someone, like, you know what I mean? Like, when they're like so insightful, and it's like, you don't know what you're talking about, small child. Like, you wouldn't say that. It was kind of those vibes, but that's okay. So it was fine. On to our last 2 books. Whoop whoop. Okay, so the next book I read was These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. So this one is a fantasy book. It deals with fae. Basically, Bree, I think her full name's like Abrella. I think that's right. She lives in the human world. She's human, and she hates the fae because her mother left her and her little sister to marry a fae, and like left them alone. And they're basically like indentured servants. Yes, she has her and her little sister, and then their next door neighbor is Sebastian, who she has a crush on, and it's great, whatever. And then her sister gets sold to the fae, and she has to go on this whole journey of trying to get her back. And that involves going to and pretending to want to marry the golden fae prince, Ronan. So very fun. And then she kind of it's a triangle, love triangle. So she has vibes going on. It is the first in the series. The second book is not out yet. I think it comes out in like July or something, which is very disappointing. I did very much like it. I'm not always a big fantasy person, but I feel like I've been reading kind of more recently. That's to say I've read like 3. I read the Cruel Prince series last year, and I liked it. I didn't love it, but I definitely still had a fun time and like read the whole series and ranked it fairly high, and everything. So it gives me, I mean, it doesn't really give me Cruel Prince vibes, but whenever there's fae, I'm like, oh my god, Cruel Prince, like Cardin, like, oh my god. But it's not super, but still very recommend. It was still very fun, especially if you like fantasy and are more of a fantasy person. You'll probably like this book even more than I did. The next book and final book February that I read was Electric Idol by Kate Robert, which is the second in the Dark Olympus series. The first one is Neon Gods, which I read last year and really liked. And they're basically retellings of classic Greek myths, but in like a fun, more modern world. Yes, I don't know, very fun. The first one was Persephone and Hades, which is like one of like literally my all-time favorite Greek myth. I love Persephone so much. I very much liked her in high school. My fun fact, my Latin name that like I was called in Latin class was Proserpina, which is Persephone in Latin. I literally loved her so much. So that book was really fun. And then this one is about Psyche. I think that's how you say it. I'm just going to say it Psyche, whatever her name is, and Eros, Eros is the son of Aphrodite, and which is in the Greek myth, that's the same. And then Psyche is the daughter of Demeter, which I'm not sure if that's actually true, but anyways, basically Aphrodite wants to kill Psyche and sends Eros to do it, and Eros decides to spare her and instead decides to marry her. So it's a marriage of convenience book. Yeah, I liked it. It was not my favorite. I did like Neon Gods more, but I still think it was fun. Still enjoyed it. She has, I think, 2 more books will be in this series eventually. I think the next one is between Achilles. Oh, I'm gonna get some hate for this because of Song of Achilles. I should know how to say his name. Patroclus, however his friend's name, I don't remember, and Helen. It's a story between the 3 of them. So yes. Anyways, I forgot to say it at the beginning, but in total, I read 18 books, 1 novella, and 3 plays in this journey of February. I still read a decent amount of books, I would say. It was not my favorite month. I think I read better books in January, but that's sometimes just how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some series that I've already decided I'm going to read in March and hopefully do videos on. And yes, have I already finished a book in March? Yeah, I have. So cool. So next time you'll see me, well, it won't be for March reading wrap up, never mind, but next time we do a reading wrap up, you'll get to know all the dirty details. And yes, as always, thank you for watching my video. You're beautiful and wonderful and amazing, and I hope you heard that today, but if not, now you are. And yeah, thank you so much for walking. I was doing so well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again.